In this video, we're going to cover how to write component event scripts that can access the properties from components on other windows. And this is something that's a little bit harder to do because you can't bind directly to other windows. After all, you don't know whether or not the other window is going to be open or not when your script runs, so we're going to have to handle that. So we have our main window open here, and we're just going to go ahead and put a button on it. And then we're going to make a new window. And let's give it a different name. Let's call it Other Window. Okay. And we'll put a text field on Other Window. And let's type some text in the text field. Alright. So our goal here is to get this button to read the text from this text field. So the first thing we're going to need to do is grab Other Window itself from buttons action performed event. And the way to do this is through a system call. So you say system.gui for graphical user interface dot. Okay, and there's a number of ways to do this depending on how your application needs to work. But the most direct way to do it is simply by calling getWindow, and you give it a name. Now, the trick here is that you have to handle the case where window isn't open. So we're going to say getWindow, and we're going to look for Other Window. Okay. Let's assign that to a variable and print it out and see what we have. And you can see it works. We got the other window because of course it's open. Now if that other window were not open, the script would actually throw an error. The call to system.gui.getWindow throws a value error. And that's not something you want happening in a production system. So to do this a little bit better, we're going to use Python's exception handling. So we say try, and then we open up a new block, and then we're going to catch the value error. Alright, and in the case where the value error is raised, we're just going to print out Other Window is not open. Alright, let's try this out. Alright, that's a lot nicer. So we've correctly handled the case where Other Window is closed, but if Other Window is open, it works just fine and we grab the window. Now that we reliably and safely have figured out how to grab the other window in case it's open, we need to go ahead and drill down and grab the text field's text property. One thing to realize is that when you get the window itself, the first thing you need to do to start walking down into the component hierarchy is grab the root container. And that's done simply by accessing the Windows root container property. So we can just say text is equal to window dot root container dot get component text field dot text. And let's go ahead and pop up this text in a message box. So system.gui.messageBox. Okay. The second argument to MessageBox is just the title for the message pop-up. This is just to give us a little bit of a break from printing things to the console here. Show something a little different. And ta-da! From a button on main window, we have popped up a message box with the text from the text field on a different window.